friends, imagine stepping into the life of William Waldorf Astor, the man who traded America's Gilded Age glimmer for British country house grandeur. By the end of our journey, you'll see why he left a fortune behind and remade his identity across the Atlantic. If you enjoy these slow, immersive history journeys, please like and subscribe. Also, wherever you're watching from, what time is it for you now? Today, we begin with his early life in New York City, before the move, the feud, and the exile. So settle in, breathe softly, and let me guide you into the world he left behind. Imagine yourself in Manhattan in the mid-19th century, a city of soaring ambition and silent contrasts. You're walking down Fifth Avenue, cobbled street beneath fine boots, gaslights shimmering on polished facades. You pass grand Astor mansions, stone and wood carved in elegance, and opulence felt as much as seen. Your lungs fill with a blend of wood smoke, horse-drawn carriages, and the faint ozone from city lamps. You pass tenements not far behind, crowded, narrow, teeming with life and hardship. The Astor's wealth came from such tension, vast estates flanked by poverty-ridden blocks, rented as investment. Now, picture young Willie Astor, William Waldorf Astor, born in 1848 to John Jacob Astor III. He is groomed in European schools, learning German, Italian, and the arts. He returns to New York to study law, and you can almost sense his discomfort in boardrooms of crude ambition and the city that never pauses. In 1878, he marries Mary Paul, enters politics. You see him under early morning light, walking toward the State Assembly, coattails swirling, face earnest but not quite at ease. The city breathes around him, trolley clatter, newspaper hawkers, press scrutiny. His defeats in congressional races sting, political bruises taken in silence. Imagine yourself as young Astor, wealthy yet restless, achieving yet unsettled. Despite rising rents, $6 million per year, a social battle loomed, the Mrs. Astor naming dispute. A card that read simply Mrs. Astor caused a rupture. He left behind the glitter and conflict with one quietly sentence, resolute, "America is not a fit place for a gentleman to live." You see him at night, staring across gaslit streets from his hotel balcony, the Grand Waldorf, soon to become the iconic Waldorf Astoria, built on his own land. Yet he visits it once and realizes it belongs more to the city's energy than to his own soul. Breathe and feel the quiet tension of that moment. Opulence weighed by isolation, ambition anchored by restlessness. Soon we'll leave New York behind, crossing the ocean to a very different world where our story continues. Transitioning gently from that early portrait of restless youth, in swift measure, William Waldorf Astor inherited one of America's greatest fortunes when his father passed away in 1890. He gained approximately $150 million in assets and collected an astonishing $6 million in yearly rents from New York properties alone. Yet his wealth in dollars didn't soften his discomfort with society's glare or the tension between opulence and conscience. By 1882, Astor had entered politics, serving in the New York State Assembly and Senate, but the city's cutthroat machine wore him down, and 2 failed congressional runs left him disillusioned. Appointed by President Arthur as U.S. Minister to Italy in 1882, Astor spent 3 years immersed in Rome's art and architecture. The change of scene, a slower, cultured life, had a calming effect on his restless spirit. In 1890, he made a dramatic statement. America is not a fit place for a gentleman to live. He departed for England in 1891, taking residence first at Lansdowne House, then acquiring Cliveden and, most notably, Hever Castle in 1903. With unhurried intent, he transformed these estates, restoring grandeur, designing gardens, even building a Tudor village, all reflecting his refined tastes. By 1899, he embraced British citizenship. His dedication to cultural and charitable projects, support for hospitals, universities, and the Red Cross culminated in his elevation, created Baron Astor of Hever Castle in 1916 and Viscount Astor in 1917. Take a gentle breath. Imagine standing by Cliveden's lake, a setting sun glinting off water. From New York's frenetic streets to the hush of English estates, Astor exchanged scale for subtlety, wealth for quiet influence. His journey widens our perspective. Wealth isn't only accumulation, it's transformation across cultures and values. Transitioning gently from Astor's political pivot, imagine yourself stepping through the gates of Lansdowne House in London, an opulent but private domain Astor rented upon his arrival in England. It's quiet inside, rich mahogany walls, plush carpets, the soft echo of your footsteps. This house becomes the first calm after his tumultuous American chapter, a place to bury exile in comfort. But Lansdowne was only the beginning. In 1893, Astor acquires Cliveden, a sprawling estate nestled on the banks of the Thames, gardens, terraces, and marble fountains included. You stroll along hedged paths at dusk, the scent of roses drifting on a river breeze, and sense that each step distances him further from New York's glare. Then, picture Hever Castle, purchased in 1903, the childhood home of Anne Boleyn. Tufa stone walls, echoing halls, a Tudor-style garden arbor. Astor spends years restoring it. Every turret and yew maze whispers a story of heritage, identity, and intent. Imagine him walking slowly, hands clasped behind his back, absorbing centuries of English history beneath his fingertips. Archaeological voices whisper here too, not in the sense of unearthed pottery, but in the way Astor regrooved ancient pathways and restored medieval brick. The castle was not a static symbol, but a living place, repurposed by his vision. You sense the method in his careful curation, the blend of past and present resonating softly. There's an enduring mystery too. Did Astor choose England merely for societal acceptance, or to live in a world shaped by centuries rather than decades? His choice remains silent and personal, left for the statues and stonework to testify. As you wander through Hever's gardens in your mind, you ponder that silent motivation, the quiet yearning for roots deeper than those in Manhattan. Imagine yourself surveying slate rooftops by candlelight. Astor's transformation isn't merely geographical, it's psychological. He departs America with its ambition and noise, and arrives in Britain seeking gravitas. Between Cliveden and Hever lies a story of intentional reinvention, still pulsing wealth, directed by introspective hands. Transitioning smoothly from the mystery of Hever Castle's silent transformation, imagine the gentle clatter of teacups in a sunlit Cliveden drawing room, where William Waldorf Astor held court among British elites. Soft murmur of voices, aristocrats, politicians, diplomats, mingled with the rustle of silk gowns and the faint pop of champagne corks. This setting, shaped by vast wealth, offers a striking contrast to the busy streets of New York he left behind. In 1893, Astor paid around $1.2 million for Cliveden, a grand transaction that began his transformation into an English country squire. He soon embarked on sweeping restorations, enlarging the Great Hall, installing a grand wooden staircase, and bringing in statuary from Italy, each step refining the estate's atmosphere richly but thoughtfully. Then, in 1906, he moved permanently to Hever Castle, bought in 1903, dedicating himself to restoring its medieval turrets, lake, and Tudor-style gardens. He meticulously recreated winding paths and terraces, fostering a continuity with English heritage, deliberate and introspective. Through these estates, Astor curated life as a man of taste and philanthropy. Guests at Cliveden included figures such as Charlie Chaplin and Winston Churchill. a sign of the estate's role in cultural and political circles. In 1916, he became Baron Astor, and the following year, Viscount Astor, a crowning recognition of his integration into British elite. Beyond pomp, Astor embraced charitable causes, gifting £20,000 to UCL, supporting hospitals and the Red Cross, and funding war charities with sums up to $200,000, reflecting a social responsibility earned through heritage and conviction. Cliveden's gardens, shaped under Astor's direction and featuring pagodas and fountains with gravity-fed waterworks, were both aesthetic and practical, quiet nods to his methodical nature. He turned Hever into a living exhibit of Tudor revival, aligning his wealth with a deeper historical narrative. Take a long, gentle breath. From bustling New York through introspective European residences, his journey reflects the nuanced ways wealth can be wielded, shaping space, identity, and legacy. Astor's estates were not mere homes, but chapters in a story of cultural adoption and refined influence. When you're ready, let's move toward our conclusion, tying together his transformation and what it teaches about ambition, identity, and restful wealth. As our calm journey draws to a gentle close, let us reflect on the life of William Waldorf Astor, a man reshaped by wealth, identity, and intention. Born into colossal American privilege, Astor inherited vast holdings, $150 million in 1890, with $6 million in yearly rent income, but his soul found richer meaning beyond dollars. Dissatisfied by political bruising and societal rivalry, he declared, "America is not a fit place for a gentleman to live." In England, he invested in legacy, restoring Cliveden in 1893 and Hever Castle beginning in 1903. He transitioned from American tycoon to British aristocrat, in 1916 becoming Baron Astor, and in 1917 Viscount Astor, largely due to his philanthropy, including support for hospitals, universities, and war charities. Astor's story reminds us, wealth alone is not destination, it's context. He turned restless inheritance into curated estates, cultural influence, and gentle legacies. His journey from the noise of New York to the serenity of English country houses shows how transition, purpose, and place shape meaningful lives. Imagine in your mind's eye a moonlit terrace at Hever Castle, quiet, still, timeless. In that space between legacy and tranquility lies Astor's true inheritance. Let his story, woven of ambition and introspection, help your mind drift toward restful thoughts. If you found this journey calming, please like and subscribe to The Wealth Code for more immersive wealth stories. Share your location and time in the comments. My next chapter is tour ready, just like Astor's estates.